from them completely, and it becomes a recognizable separation in a large body of people. And that gives birth to a culture, to an empire, to a state, and to a country. But every country's holds with pride is values. That's what separates every country from another. It's value system. Because what's the distinction? If there's no distinction in values, then what's the separation from this part of the land and that part of the land? Canada values free health, right? America doesn't. You got to work for this shit to get health. So the borderline is not the lines that they drew on your map. It's the values of the individual that exist in that region. That creates your lines. Even with the Revolutionary Warfare in America, the Civil War, it was a war of values. We free the slaves. We need these niggas. Kill these slaves. They're getting our money, right? So the value systems clashed. They clashed. In the States was separations of different white boys with different values. If you look at Utah today, that white boy got a different value. Statutory law changes from state to state relative to the values of the politicians, right, who are in legislative positions. The laws change. And they're subject to change relative to the values of people within that particular hemisphere, within that particular area. So my whole point is, into our values change. We aren't revolutionary. We might be competitive. What a lot of people consider to be a revolutionary position is just an extreme competitive position. It's extreme competitiveness. It's not a whole 360-degree change. You got the money, I want the money. We both value money. You got this type of car, I want that type of car. You got that type of house, I want that type of house. That's not revolutionary. That's extreme competitiveness. Y'all see what I'm saying? And what we thought was a revolutionary movement in our black community was a extreme competitive movement. We competed with the white boy to be further along in his value of progression. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Than he was. So that wasn't revolution. It was competitive. Revolution means you have a distinct set of values that if you could live wholeheartedly to your principle, you would look completely opposite, damn near, from those who you were locked into their way of life and under their system and their laws. Ain't that heavy? So these people that call themselves revolutionaries, their values are the same as who they claim that they are revolting against. And they really want to not change the whole system. They would rather be in the seat. Even some of the Panthers, they became congressmen. Why? Because their revolution was not opposition, but extreme competitiveness. We got to draw the line there. Some people say, I'm going out, I'm working hard, I'm about to work to make a revolution, I'm about to get this money so I can make a revolution. No. What you're doing, your value is the same as getting money. Mayor Daley want to get the money. Giuliani want to get money. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, you have the same goddamn values as the white man, right? How's that revolution? Because both of y'all need the same thing in place in order to achieve your vision. If the system fails, you broke and he broke. So while y'all claim to be in opposition, you must work together at the minutest level to keep a system going where both of you all can get paid. Is that right? Every day. If your vision is to get paid, his vision is to get paid, it will make sense. You're not an agent. Hell, it would make sense for y'all to work together to keep it going, wouldn't it? Our vision ain't to get money. Our vision ain't to get paid. Our vision is prosperity and resources, land, health, genuine education, culture freedom. But our goal ain't to get no money. If this monetary system failed, it would mean absolutely nothing else. But what would some of these competitive capitalists do? Who their revolution is based on the accumulation of currency. What would they do if the system failed? So you mean to tell me you have some responsibility to keep it going? And you got to work with him on some level to keep it going. If your vision is coming up within it. So you can't tell me revolution has nothing to do with getting money. It has nothing to do with getting money. Nothing. Because to get money, part of your job is maintaining the system of the distribution and using your existence to validate the process and the method of distribution of wealth that is the common systematic way. That's a part of your job. Somebody come to you and say, I want a bite to eat, you will be going against your vision to feed them for free. Is that right? You're going out of business if you do that. So somebody talking about you should give out stuff. Oh, wait a minute now. You got this twisted, man. I got to get my money. You will be going against the etiquette of business. But they say, well, the etiquette of business works for me. It works for you too. You grow to a certain point and try to turn something essentially capitalistic into something nationalistic. Then that's when the IRS comes. And it seems like black people don't know how to count money. You get audited. Right? Because you didn't get audited because you didn't count your money right. However you counted, nigga, you wasn't even supposed to have no money. However you counted that shit, it was wrong. Huh? I don't care about what tax statement you read in our Constitution. We didn't come here with legal books. We came here with guns. If we wanted to hear about what our system said about people paying taxes, we'd have came with law books. We came with heat. We didn't come to discuss law. We came to count your shit. Right? So we can pull the shit that you trying to use for your revolutionary shit and put it back into our treasury where it belongs. It's Wesley Snipes. I'm sure there's a lot of Hollywood people that couldn't count their money. But he was a threat. He had a revolutionary potential. So they came at him. But he thought he could grow within capitalism and I'm going to do it nationalistically. And they said, no, we wasn't created for that. We've been counting on you to keep our shit going. That's what an accountant is. Somebody counting on you to keep that shit going. An auditor is an accountant for the government. That's it. So no, you cannot be nationalistic with a systematically white supremacist. You cannot be a black nationalist conforming to a white supremacist systematic methodology. It's impossible. It is impossible. I don't care how much money Oprah and Michael Jordan them had. That currency saying a God we trust, and it wasn't talking about a black one. Huh? I don't care how many pyramids you see on a dollar bill. They was not talking about Egypt on there. They talking about the corporate bankers. Them dollars won't be going to Egypt. Come on. Them dollars ain't going to Egypt. Them dollars is going right to the suburbs. And some of them suburbs we ain't even heard of, where Europeans got houses 20 blocks long. Like the Rockefellers. That's where those currencies will return to. And that's what they were set up to build. And there's always a loophole in there for the white man. Always a loophole. When they went to get Rockefeller, he was a sovereign. The man confined himself to his property under certain sovereign laws. They had warrants for this man, but they could not even get on his property because of the loopholes in the legal system. And them using offshore international European banks and trusts and washing money and all this, which was set up for the European. A black person try to do that, you going to jail. So my whole point is the monetary system was not set up for us. Anything when you walk outside your door, you got to do something for their system and their reality in order for you to get something you need. It's totally not set up for you.